Hello, and welcome to Troop 798 Booth Sale video series. So if you're watching this, that means that you are potentially considering doing a booth sale with your daughter for the upcoming Girl Scout cookie season. Booth sales are a great way to sell cookies. You're going to sell anywhere between 60 to a couple hundred boxes at each booth that you do. It's a good way to get rid of inventory that you have. But the most important thing I have seen is the girls learn a lot of skills selling at booths. They learn how to talk in public to people. They learn math skills. I've seen a lot of girls really come out of their shell, and I've also seen girls absolutely crush their goals by just picking up a couple booths each season. So let's jump right into this. Booth sales can be very confusing. They can be kind of scary. There is some paperwork with it to make sure that you are not losing money or losing inventory, but we're going to go through all that with you right now so that hopefully this will make a little bit more sense when we get done. So when you have cookies, each girl is going to bring inventory. So you'll have two girls at a booth, and that inventory gets pushed back together into one inventory while you're selling the cookies. So you won't have girl one inventory, girl two. When you're selling, you're just selling out of the total combined inventory. You're going to be taking some digital cookies. Digital cookies will allow you to take credit cards. You'll need to make sure you download the app for that, for digital cookies. You might even try, I know before I went and did my first booth, I actually bought a box of cookies off Digital Cookie just so I could see what all I needed to do with that. It's going to ask you for an email address. Lots of times I just put my email address in there. If people asked for a receipt or wanted a receipt, then you would put their email address in the digital cookies. You're also going to be dealing with a lot of cash. So all of that is going to go into one parent. I would recommend one parent or the other take digital cookies, but not both. But sometimes you just can't avoid that. It will make your tracking at the end of the whole booth sale a lot easier if only one will take the digital cookies. So each booth sale consists of a 2-hour block. Ideally, each booth will have 2 girls and 2 adults present. Occasionally, a girl can't show up, and so you'll just have 1 girl and 1 adult, but you must have an adult at the booth. Girls are going to bring their own adult with them to a booth sale. Girls will be bringing their own cookies. However, just like I said before, you're going to sell out of both girls' inventory at the same time. Girls need to wear a sash or vest at the booth. If it's really cold and they've got hats and coats on, at least wear your Girl Scout pin on your coat. Booth lasts from the beginning, usually like the first or second week of February until early March. We recommend that you do them as soon as you can because booth sales in March typically experience much lower sales. You cannot start booth sales until they are officially open. What you can do is sell at the end of your driveway, but you cannot sell in a booth until booth sales officially open. Watch for notifications about the exact date for that. So what you need to bring. You'll see here a couple of pictures of some typical booth setups. So you're going to need a table. You don't have to have a table covering. You'll see in these pictures one has a covering and one doesn't. You're going to want to do a bag or a fanny pack or a money box, something to keep your money in. One of the parents will need to bring some change. I'd recommend 1s and 5s, at least $30. Signs are optional. You'll see both of these booths have signs. A donation box is optional. Chairs only for the adults. Girls are not to be sitting down. Girls are always to be standing. A phone with the digital cookie app on it to take the credit cards. You cannot take Venmo, PayPal, etc. at a cookie booth. The booth tracker sheets. When doing a booth with another parent or girl, I highly recommend you use the tracker sheets. We're going to go over in detail here in just a second on those. We've had many parents that have regretted not doing the tracker sheets after the fact. It's really hard to find your inventory and money when you don't know what you started with. So you have got to do the trackers right from the beginning. So the booth tracker form is an Excel spreadsheet. We'll have hard copies. We'll post PDFs. But you're going to have a beginning inventory page. You're going to have a digital sales tracking, an ending inventory and distribution page, and then a transfer and cookie manager entry. We're going to go over in detail each one of these. So before selling, you're going to have both girls do their inventory, and the parents are going to double check each girl. Okay? And you're going to fill out the beginning inventory. So you can see here you're going to put the girl's name, the other girl's name, 2 girls' names, and the total count in boxes of each flavor with a total count. Okay? And you're going to add those together to get a grand total beginning inventory. You're going to enter the beginning cash for whichever parent brought the beginning cash. And you're going to have both parents initial. Okay? This is a good place to let the girls, especially the younger ones or all of them, actually participate in this by actually doing the counts and filling them in. And then the other parent will just check the math and make sure that the count is correct. So, before selling, show up 20 minutes before your start time. Set up your table. Be ready to sell at start time. Determine which parent's going to do the digital sales. If the girls are cadets or above, you can let them try their hand at using your phone and doing the digital sales. Decide if the girls are going to ask the customers going in or going out, but do not ask both going in and out. And don't encroach on the girls already selling. Wait until your designated time. Showing up the 20 minutes before also allows you to get your inventory done and to check each other's math. While selling, use page 2 of your tracker to log your digital sales. You can go back and look at your digital sales in your digital cookie. However, what I have found is you have to go in manually to each sale to see what flavor was sold. So it's really just easier. If it gets crazy, go ahead and do your digital sales. You can come back in and fill this out later, but do this as much as you can as you're going along. Keep your donations separate, either in a donation box or a separate place in your bag or your box, but just make sure you keep those separate so they are not commingled in with your sales. Okay, once the sale is over, you're going to do your inventory and you're going to count your money. So once your 2 hours is over, move all the inventory to a separate location, like back up against the wall or something of the building. If it's cold, this may be in a parent's vehicle. We've had people where they just load everything into a parent's vehicle. Both parents and the girls get in there and they start doing the tracker sheets and the math. I would recommend you bring a clipboard to put all your tracker sheets on. You can buy clipboards at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Okay, so do your ending inventory. So first you're going to take your beginning inventory, your total beginning inventory, and bring it over to this page, okay? And then you're going to take your total ending. So count all your cookies of each flavor. At this point, remember, they're all commingled together. That's okay. Do a count and do the total count. Have both parents initial those. This is also where the girls can help, okay? Then you're going to compute what your ending sales was. So it's going to be whatever you started with minus what you have left will be your sales. Okay, so you're going to enter down here on the bottom your packages sold. So your beginning inventory of Adventurefuls minus your ending inventory is going to equal what it is that you sold. You're going to do that for each flavor and the total. And then you're going to compute the total. This total count times $6. So let's say hypothetically we had $600 worth of cookies left. Then you're going to put in your digital sales, what the total of your digital sales was. So for this example, it's $330, which means we should have an ending cash of $270. Make sure you pull out your beginning cash, and any donations are not included when you're counting your money for your ending cash. It's happened many times. It's happened to me. I leave my beginning cash and then I'm long and I'm kind of panicky. So make sure you do that. This is probably the most important place in this whole process, is to make sure that your ending cash is correct. Okay? Now you've got to figure out who's taking what cookies home. So you got to take your inventory, and just like how we put them all together, now we've got to figure out who gets credit for the digital sales, how much cash each person's going to take home, and how many boxes of cookies each girl is going to take home. So this next step is going to help you get to that. So you're going to distribute the packages sold to each girl. This is important. A girl cannot sell more inventory than she brought for a specific flavor. I'll give you an example. If I brought 5 boxes of Adventurefuls and we sold 20, then I don't get credit for half of that, which would be 10. I'm only going to get credit for 5 Adventurefuls. The other girl's going to get credit for 15. Okay? This may cause a girl to actually sell more than another at a booth based on the inventory she brought. Okay? You're going to compute the dollar value of the cookies sold, enter the amount sold from the digital on the appropriate girl. If both's taking digital, you're going to need to enter both of those. Then compute your take-home cash. Don't worry, we're going to go over this in detail with a screenshot. Take the dollar value less your digital cookies to determine each girl's take-home cash. Remember to have the parent that brought the beginning cash. If you brought any beginning cash, take that out. Take out any donations. The donations should be split between the girls outside of the inventory tracking, and that cash needs to be turned in as a troop donation. So you're going to take your packages sold. So this is your total packages sold. You've already computed this prior on step 2. And now we got to figure out how many cookies is each girl going to get credit for. Okay? So you're going to take those packages sold, divide them in half. Like I said before, we sold 20 Adventurefuls. And you're going to figure, normally you do them in half. And as long as that girl brought 10, each girl brought at least 10, each one is going to get credit for 10 Adventurefuls. You're going to do that for each flavor. Okay? Once you've done that, you're going to do the amount times 6, less the digital, and that's how much take-home cash each girl should bring. Okay? Or each girl should take, sorry. So then you're going to complete the ending inventory. Compute your individual ending inventory now. It's probably the easiest part. You're going to take your beginning inventory that you brought as an individual, subtract the packages you sold. This is what you should have in boxes that you are taking home. Don't do any swapping of cookies at this point. Okay? Get all this done, all this verified and initialed by both parents. Then if you want to swap cookies, you can do that after you've gotten everything balanced. So this is what you should take home. You're going to take your ending inventory, okay? Subtract your beginning inventory from the individual packages sold, and that's your ending inventory. And that is the total boxes and the different flavors that you should be taking home for each girl. Okay, if you're using Cookie Manager to keep inventory and your sales, There's a couple things you need to do. If you're going to swap flavors of cookies with another parent, you need to let your cookie chairs know so they can do a transfer in the cookie manager, not digital cookie, but in cookie manager. Otherwise, your inventory is going to be off. You also, if you don't enter your booth sales into cookie manager, your inventory is going to be off. So the next sheet is going to help you do that. So transfers, once the booth sale is done and balanced, if you want to swap cookies with a parent you're doing cookies with, you can complete the below file. You complete the form, have both parents initial it, post a screenshot in the Facebook group. There's going to be a transfer post pinned at the top of the group. Or you can send a picture of it via text to Fonda or Leah. You should have their numbers. Or bring it to a cookie pickup. Okay? We'll write you a receipt and you can pick up that receipt at your next cookie pickup. Transfers. So how you would do that is you'd enter each of the girls' names. If I'm going to transfer an Adventureful to you and I'm going to get a Thin Mint, then I'm taking an Adventureful -1 out of mine and +1 into the other girl's name, and +1 Thin Mint and -1 Thin Mint. If you're just doing a transfer and not getting an equal swap, that's fine too. 2 Samoas +1 Samoa. I'm going to give you Samoas. We'll take Samoas out of your inventory and put it into the other parents, and they now owe for those 2 Samoas. So the booth sale entry in Cookie Manager. Once the booth is done and everything's balanced, you're going to want to log that sale as an order in your Cookie Manager app to keep your inventory correct. Now remember, you are not going to need your digital sales because they're going to come over with the digital sales orders, okay? So you're going to take your total packages sold that we computed previously, subtract your digital cookies sold, and this would be your cash packages sold. This is the line you're going to enter in Cookie Manager as an order for booth sale. I would just name the customer, booth sale, and the date. So that way you know exactly how much you sold in cookies for that booth sale in cash. Okay? So once you get with that, you are done with that booth. Remember, let the girls help with this paperwork as much as possible. Daisies, Brownies, and Juniors can help with counting boxes and entering numbers. The juniors can. Cadets can help with counting, keeping track of digital sales, entering all the inventory information. Seniors and ambassadors should pretty much be doing all of this, and you are just checking her work. And lastly, if you found something that works better for you, use it. But I am going to tell you that many of our more successful cookie booth parents use these sheets and has proven helpful in keeping their inventory and money straight. So good luck selling those cookies. Let us know if you have any questions about the forms. All the forms will be posted on the Facebook group, so you'll be able to get to those forms. We'll also have copies of the forms at cookie pickups. If you want copies then, you can pick some up then. And we will have some at the parent meeting and the training in January. Thank you.